Economic freedom. Goldman Sachs produced the brick diagram in 2001. When I learned about it, I made a grand plan to take MBA students from Dallas Baptist University to all 4 of the countries over successive spring and fall breaks. We learned a lot, and it was a fantastically successful program. Here's a quick review. The flags of countries in the top left circle have arable land in excess of 20 million hectares. The flags of countries in the top right have populations over 100 million people. The flags of countries in the bottom circle have GDP in excess of the equivalent of US $500 billion a year. Okay, in addition to the US, there are only 4 countries whose flags appear in the middle of the diagram: Brazil, Russia, India, and China. Thus, the BRIC countries. Then, why aren't they rich? See, the reason they are poor is they do not have policies that promote production. If you're looking for a list of countries who have policies that promote production, you'll find it at heritage.org. It's called the Index of Economic Freedom. The U.S. has fallen from 17 to 25 over the last 3 years, and we're headed further down the list. There are 12 measures in the index. The U.S. earns relatively high scores on 11 of them, but earns a score of 0 on the measure titled Fiscal Health. Fiscal policies are those from the government. Here's what James Freeman says about fiscal policy, quote, "The White House economic agenda is the principal threat to growth," end quote. Oh, and the BRIC countries? Well, they may have land, labor, and capital, but they're missing policies that promote production. Their rankings on the Index of Economic Freedom are 133, 113, 131, and 158. 2 more countries, then I'm done. Each year, 350,000 people take a pilgrimage in Spain that ends at the tomb of James, the brother of John, sons of Zebedee. You remember? Sons of thunder? Okay. Well, Ginger and I hiked the Camino de Santiago last month with a friend from our church group. Rural Spain is beautiful, with small farms and trees and hills. But while Americans' income average is almost $70,000 a year, the Spanish average $40,000. Say la on that, just for a minute if you don't mind. Look, if everyone in your church made $2,500 less per month, as the Spanish do, what would life be like in your community? How many would send their children to a university like Dallas Baptist? How many would have 2 cars? How many would eat out about 3 times a week? Oh wait, it gets worse. Ginger and I ended the Camino next to Portugal, so we went there for a few days. Really nice people. We rode a high-speed train. Roads and streets are really nice. Water is safe to drink. Cities are well policed. They have rich governments and poor people. They make $35,000 a year, half of what Americans make. Remember, this data is adjusted for purchase power parity. It means the Portuguese can purchase half the goods you and your fellow church members can purchase in the United States. How can a Portuguese citizen be a good Samaritan, making half of what you make? Look, this road to serfdom I've been talking about today has been known for years. It is very clear the Biden administration wants us to be more like the Europeans. Just remember, that means you will make half what you now make. For some historic context, I'll cite the Tax Foundation's view on President Biden's ambitions. Quote, "The magnitude of the tax and revenue increases on the table is unprecedented." Ginger noted this week, "Did you realize that the most viewed of your podcasts is number 88, titled Don't Fear the Future?" That's actually pretty interesting because there is plenty to fear, and I've described it in this podcast. I'll allow you to view that one on your own, but the brief encouragement for today is the same one I give to my students at Dallas Baptist University after I've got them all depressed about the possibility of default from the crushing national debt. I explain, national debt will make you poorer in the future. There's just no other way to explain it. Fiscal policies will take away more of your money, but they won't take away your spouse, your family, your church, your salvation, and hopefully not your joy. I close each podcast saying, fear God, because if you fear God, you will fear nothing else. I'm Dave Arnott, the Christian Economist. Fear God, tell the truth, earn a profit. See you next time. For more information, please visit us online at davearnott.com. If you have questions or suggestions for future podcasts, please submit them online or in the comments section below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.